What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on the future of the MonsterVerse. We have some big official news coming out from Godzilla X Kong, the sequel. They are moving fast. We now have someone penning the movie. We now have a director. The movie only came out in March. It's only June. Are they trying to push this movie out in 2026? It is looking very likely. So we get to talk about one of my favorite franchises today, being the MonsterVerse. So if you're new around here, what the frickin' hell you doing? Make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, Kaiju, MonsterVerse pop culture based content that I try to cover on a daily basis. If you could, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on. Become a channel member for less than 99p, less than $1. It really does help the channel. Also, if you want to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Also, I've got a blocked up nose, so if the voice is a little bit off, I apologize, lads and ladettes. Also, check us out on Twitter. Warstu G. Right, let's get into this video. So as we know, Godzilla X Kong: New Empire just missed by literally a few million, knocking off the #1 spot of the biggest grossing MonsterVerse movie ever, because Warner Bros. Wanted to release it on digital, then bring it out on Blu-ray, because they earn more of that money. That's the only real reason why I can see they're doing that. So they've already greenlit the sequel already, which is freaking insane. We've already got someone penning the movie. And if you know anything about scripts, they don't take as long to make as you would actually think. The movie was very successful overall. As we know, it looks like Adam Wingard isn't coming back based on official news that came out, I think, a week or two ago, which did shock a lot of people. It even shocked me because generally, if someone has 2 movies in a row in the same franchise that did pretty well, usually you would bring said person back, but he appears to be busy with an A24. A24 is such a cool studio company. He's busy working with them, but realistically, they're not going to start shooting until early next year at the earliest, because obviously the script is not written. But the fact that they've already hired a director as well is freaking insane, to be honest. It's unprecedented. It's unheard of. Okay, we're going a bit over top, but it is unheard of, to be fair. Like, that is such a fast turnaround. It really is a major, major turnaround to do it that fast. So, Grant Sputar. I've never heard of this director personally. That does not mean he's bad. That does not mean he's good. So, Grant Sputar has been confirmed to be directing the next Godzilla X Kong movie. He's previously worked on films including I Am a Mother, which appears to be a pretty good movie. But other than that, he's literally a random director that no one's ever heard of. No, this is not me discrediting him. This is me just saying, yo, I watch a lot of movies and I've never really heard of him. The I Am a Mother movie came out in 2019. He is pretty unheard of in some respects, but that's very telling, because rather than waiting a little bit to bring Adam Wingard back, they are jumping on a unheard of director, which tells you, and it tells me, I mean, obviously I do research for the videos, I've looked on his IMDb, etc., and there isn't really much on there, to be honest. He directed a few episodes of Castaway back in 2011, directed something called Legacy back in 2008. He only has 3 credits on IMDb. He's got an up-and-coming post-producer credit on We Bury the Dead. He's also executive produced something called The Furnace in 2020. His work does seem to be a little bit more serious than, I guess, I mean, that's a bit unfair because I don't really know him as director. But mainly what it tells you is Legendary Pictures, not Warner Bros., because a lot of people seem to give Warner Bros. Credit for every Godzilla movie, when it realistically, it's got nothing to do with them. They just distribute it as a Legendary project. It tells you that Legendary wants the next movie out very fast. So we know we have someone penning the script for Godzilla X Kong, the sequel. So I'm assuming they're going to want to start shooting this movie as soon as possible. So you could realistically say the next Godzilla X Kong movie will most likely come out in 2026. We know that David Callahan, who did pen Shang-Chi, who is involved in the across the Spideyverse stuff, who is a very good writer in some respects, but then again, he did work on Wonder Woman 1984, but he also did get writing credit for the original first Godzilla movie in the MonsterVerse. So it's just a freaking good time to be a MonsterVerse fan. I really did not expect them to pick up a director before we get the script. Because usually what happens in Hollywood is, usually the studio approaches a director once the script is there, or once the skeleton crew script is there in some kind of variation. Now, I don't know much about this director, but his work seems to be a little bit serious. So I think the tone that they're going for is somewhat going to be much more serious. Now, like I say, I'm fully transparent on this channel. A lot of people seem to think I talk shit. I am fully transparent, lads and ladettes. You know that. I tell you if I know stuff. I didn't see this coming. No other MonsterVerse YouTuber that I speak to, I don't need to say who I'm on about, but no other MonsterVerse YouTuber I've spoken to has a freaking clue who this person is. So it's going to be very interesting. I still think they've got to go down the Space Godzilla route. I still think they're building up to destroy all monsters. I still think they have 3 to 4 movies going into this franchise. If you look at Disney, they've got a huge plan, or their Planet of the Apes franchise. Yeah, okay, it's not the same thing, but it's pretty much the same genre, basically. So I think we could get at least 3 to 4 movies. We know we're getting season 2 of Legacy Monarch of the Monsters, which is going to be freaking insane because it's going to focus more on Kong, but that's not an exclusive or anything like that. That's basically just reading the room, and the fact that they introduced Kong right at the end of the first season tells you're going to be concentrating more on Kong. I hate to say it, but Kong is way more popular than Godzilla currently, at least when it comes to the MonsterVerse. So that is pretty cool news. Let me know what kind of videos you want me to do. Yes, I know there's a lot of information coming out from the novel about a lot of stuff. If you would like me to do videos on that, I sure as hell will. I've been trying to focus on other content because, like I say, there isn't that much content to do via the MonsterVerse currently. Godzilla -1 came out on Netflix and went straight to #1. It's such a cool movie, but if you do get the chance, watch it in its native language or subtitles. It's so much better, and it's so cool because that means the company that made it, I believe it was Toho, it means Netflix gave them a freaking bag, and it means if it did well on Netflix, they're most likely to make a freaking sequel to Godzilla -1, although I don't really understand how they would do that. So it's just going to be a good time to be a Kaiju MonsterVerse fans. I know I get a lot of criticism because some people think I'm not really a Kaiju MonsterVerse fan. I just make the videos because I can get the views and stuff like that, which realistically makes no sense to me. Why would I spend time making content that I didn't like? I wouldn't do that, to be honest. Like, that would just be a waste of my time. I'm a big fan of the Godzilla MonsterVerse franchise. Sure, I get it. I don't do content on the MonsterVerse all year round. That's because unlike Marvel and DC content where there's current always leaks, rumors, and news going around, the MonsterVerse isn't as a big franchise. So there isn't always news, leaks, and rumors and, you know, potentially what's coming up in the MonsterVerse because they only release one movie every 2 to 3 years, whereas Marvel and DC, prior to the last few years, dropped 2 to 3 movies per year respectively. So like always, guys, become a channel member for less than 99p. It really does help me as a creator and as a person. So if you could become a channel member, that would be very much appreciated. Donations and the super chats are always welcome. You can do that within the video if you want. Not asking, just saying it would be cool if you could. Check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the voice. Check us out on Twitter, Warstu G. And I will catch you in another video, guys, very soon. Catch you later.